In this video, we're going to cover how to change the starting weapon of your soldier, as well as how to make it so that you can destroy boxes and have them drop pickups for you to collect. First things first, you can select which weapons the player will start out with, as well as which ammo they will have on the player game object itself. So if I go ahead and select it, you'll want to look for ammo carrier, as well as usable carrier. These two scripts have arrays that hold the types of ammo or weapons that you will start with. So for example, starting ammo has 4 elements, and you can see I have some 9mm bullets, some 105mm bullets, and so on, and you can adjust the max amount that the player can hold as well as their starting amount from that location. The usable carrier has starting weapons on it. In this case, there's gun_Thompson and gun_Brengun. I think for this character, all I want is the Thompson, so I'm going to right-click on this and hit Delete Array Element. And we should now have the proper starting weapon if I hit play. Indeed we do, after a quick reload. Seems to work fine. And of course, if you want to add a weapon, go ahead and set the size of the starting weapons array to 2. Search for the guns in the project with gun_ in this case. Find the one you want. In this case, we'll grab the MP40, drag it in, and just hit play. But I do want the ability to add in other weapons in the middle of the game as opposed to just at the start. And the Poly War Pack already has some pickups that you can have. So to create a pickup in the scene, all you need to do is search for pickup_ in the project view, and you'll have all the ones available to you at the moment. For now, let's give him a bazooka. That sounds nice. So I will drag that into the scene, and now we will be able to collect this. You can see if I walk over to it, it automatically swaps to it, reloads, and now we have a bazooka we can use. However, it is a bit boring just having it there to be picked up readily. So instead, how about we have a box that can drop a weapon pickup? I think I'll grab one of these. Select it and hit Control-D to duplicate and slide it over. Now there's a couple of things we need in order to make it so that we can shoot this. The first is a damage receiver script. And for now we won't worry about health, we'll just have it so that it can receive damage and do something with it. In this case we want it to spawn something after being damaged, as well as we want it to be able to be destroyed. And there are 2 helper scripts for those. One is a destroyer, and the other, as you might imagine, is called a spawner. So with these, you can use Unity events, such as this one, in order to call various methods. So if I drag the destroyer script in here, we can have it so that the destroyer destroys this upon it receiving any form of damage. So as soon as it gets hit with a bullet or an explosion, it'll destroy itself. In addition to that, we also want it to spawn something. So we'll drag the spawner in there and say spawn. Now the spawner will spawn one of the possible spawns in this array here. So if we want it to spawn a random weapon drop, let's go ahead and add, say, 3 of them. We'll have the aforementioned bazooka, as well as this weapon, and maybe this one. That looks cool. So upon it being hit with a weapon, it will destroy itself and will spawn one of these items in its place. To test that out, let's hop into play mode, aim, and sure enough, there's one. We'll see if it gives a different one this time. Indeed, we got a different one. So we now have a box that will randomly give us a new weapon upon being destroyed. And if we wanted to, we could of course add some particle effects and stuff to make it look like the box is breaking. Now, let's say instead of being destroyed in one hit, we wanted to give it some health, so it took several hits from weak weapons in order to break. Well, all you need to do for that is to add a health reservoir. The damage receiver script will automatically connect to the health reservoir. However, we do still have our events connected to the damage receiver. Instead, we want them on the health in the on death event. So I'm going to copy the on damaged event here and paste it into on death. And now I will simply remove the older things, Looks like it starts off with 100 health by default, and that should be good enough. If I hop into play mode and shoot it maybe 10 times, considerably less than 10. I suck at math, but as you can see, it takes a few shots to break, and then we get our random item and can pick it up. But now the important thing is that we can take this box and put it anywhere we want. So let's create a prefab out of it. We can stick this prefab wherever. I'll just stick it in the base assets folder. But all you need to do is click and drag it. And we'll make an original prefab from this instead of a variant. And now we have this box with the damage and spawning scripts and such on it. And we can drag in as many as we want. Although we should probably change the name, so we'll just call this Destructible Box. And we can drag a bunch of those in. And then see if we blow up a bunch of them with a rocket launcher here. Well, that wasn't quite enough damage. If I swap to the other weapon, I think the explosions do 50 damage and these have 100 health. 1, 2, oh, 3. Again, still bad at math. But as you can see, each one drops a different item. And with that, we now have the ability to spawn in whatever pickups we want. If I wanted to, say, spawn a medkit instead, of course, for a given thing, I could open up its spawner script and then replace it with a pickup medkit. There we go. And now if I destroy that particular box, it drops a medkit instead. And then if I go ahead and damage myself a little bit, and then go pick up the medkit, you'll see it restores our health. And of course, now that it's a prefab, if you wanted to make the boxes a bit weaker so that one rocket would destroy them, for example, all you need to do is go to the original prefab, double click on it, find the health reservoir, and give it a different amount of health. We'll say 50 health instead. And save. And now if I hop into the scene and grab the rocket launcher, we should see it destroy them in one hit. Perfect. That about covers it for this video, I think. As always, if you have any questions, post them below. And if you'd like to see more, go ahead and check out the playlist. See you next time.